This is Bronzy. He is the owner of this Lifesteal SMP, and just recently, it was announced that he'll be holding an event that will grant one player ownership over the whole server. And in a few weeks, I'm going to try to win this event and take over the entire SMP. But to do this, I'll need some help, because due to some recent events on the server, I was currently at war and hated by everyone. And, well, I mean, rightfully so. I did kind of murder them and grief all their bases. Anyways, I met up with the only other person on the server who wasn't trying to kill me, Starfish. You see, Starfish has been my ally through all of this, so he was the only person I knew I could trust. And just recently, he had actually discovered the details of Bronzy's event. Supposedly, it was a fight to the death between all of the strongest players, with the last person standing as the new rightful owner of the server. Bronzy called this event the Day of Rebirth, which was 2 weeks from now. However, because Starfish and I had such a huge target on our backs, we knew that whoever showed up to the event would do anything in their power to kill us, which is why we needed to become immortal. You see, a couple weeks ago, a player by the name of Recalling Man tricked the owner into adding his alt account onto the server, which resulted in him farming his alt for free hearts, ultimately giving him a huge advantage. But it made me wonder if it was possible for Starfish and I to do the same. So I went ahead and asked the owner to whitelist 2 accounts onto the server, one of which being my alt account, and Bronzy was none the wiser. So now we had 2 accounts whitelisted onto the server, but there was still one more problem: Recalling Man. Specifically, Recalling Man getting more powerful than us. You see, Recalling Man has managed to befriend most of the people on the server, even people who we haven't seen log in yet. And because I've destroyed his base and tried killing him on 3 separate occasions, it was very clear that he wanted Starfish and I gone. And since he had all of these friends willing to back him up and give him all of their hearts, it was only a matter of time before he'd be way more powerful than Starfish and I combined. Because in the span of just 1 day, he had already managed to gain up to 40 hearts, doubling what Starfish and I had worked weeks to achieve in just a few hours. As far as we knew, he had even more people logging in to surrender their hearts to him. So even with 2 extra accounts whitelisted onto the server for both Starfish and I to split our hearts between, that wasn't going to be nearly enough. Which was why we were going to have to do something that hadn't been done yet: craft hearts. You see, with this simple recipe, it was possible for you to craft hearts. And if done right, it was possible for you to make hundreds of these hearts, especially if the work was split between 2 people. Because with a good plan and some dedication, it was possible to craft way more hearts than Recalling Man, and give ourselves a fighting chance once again. Starfish and I regrouped back at base to discuss our plans moving forward, where we agreed that it was smart to split the work between the both of us, having Starfish gather all the netherite and gold that he could find in the nether, and having me mine all the diamonds that I could find in the overworld. But in order for me to mine thousands of diamonds in such a short period of time, I would need to come up with a better method than just strip mining. You see, with recent Minecraft updates, there has been a trick where going into swamp or river biomes and mining under a patch of clay has let you find diamonds. Now, I don't know if it had something to do with the world generation or not, but what I did know was that it was way more effective than just strip mining. So I went ahead and did that. Between Starfish's netherite mining and my diamond mining, we had managed to put together a ton of resources to craft hearts. But there was still one thing missing in our crafting recipe: totems. Previously, I had gotten all of our totems from a woodland mansion, but there wasn't nearly enough of those to go around, which meant the only other option was to get them through raids. More specifically, raid farms, because with an effective raid farm, it was possible to get up to 300 totems an hour. But there was a risk to building these totem farms, as it was pretty easy for other players to find them, which meant if I was going to make one, I would need to build it, use it, and then destroy it all in the same day. So while Starfish continued to mine more netherite and gold for us, I got to work on making 2 different farms, one of which being a gunpowder farm. You see, Starfish and I needed some TNT to go and blow up other players' bases, but we also needed it to demolish Spawn Island. And the reason for that was if we managed to destroy all of their bases and the Spawn Island, it should, in theory, set our enemies back quite a bit. Because Recalling Man wasn't our only concern anymore, as there were a few other players who we had wronged still alive, and they were making some serious progress towards killing Starfish and I. So, with only 4 days remaining until the day of rebirth, I would begin work on both a creeper farm and a totem farm. Were finished, all that needed to be done was use them and see if they worked. And I'm happy to report that they did. Really well, actually. Because in the end, we had several shulker boxes of both totems and gunpowder. And with only 3 days left for Starfish and I to gear up and make a ton of TNT, we were feeling really confident. That was until we realized how many hearts we had made in total. Now, don't get me wrong, 55 was a lot. But split between just Starfish and I, it wasn't going to be nearly enough for us to have a fighting chance. So, with limited time left until the day of rebirth, Starfish and I would begin working like hogs. Because we started digging sand, mining diamonds, crafting TNT, smelting ancient debris, blowing up bases, and then going home and making multiple sets of armor and golden apples, all in preparation for a final event which we weren't yet ready for. However, our dedication was stronger than that of a tier 3 Pokimane subscriber, because after pushing through literal sweat and tears, Starfish and I had managed to come back with a lot more netherite and diamonds than we had before. And we ended up crafting a total of 206 hearts. And when split between the both of us, should put Starfish and I at around 134 hearts each, finally giving us the advantage that we needed. However, there was still one final thing left for Starfish and I to do: blow up Spawn. Because we still had 6 shulker boxes of TNT just lying around and waiting to be used. So we flew over to Spawn Island and began placing down the TNT. All the TNT had been placed, there was only one thing left for Starfish and I to do. finally, it was time. Starfish and I grabbed all of our potions and gear and made our way over to Spawn Island, where we would begin the final battle.
How fast do you think I can kill Decade when he loves
You're the first player I ever killed in the game, and you're gonna be the first one that I end up killing. Oh, he got Ender Pearl! Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's right, I gave him those!
Hey, recalling man!
Cody, I don't want to pull these out so early.
I just spit on my keyboard!
What the hell was that?
That's probably a crystal.
TNT minecart, baby!
No, that was a crit. There's obsidian, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, you bet your ass that's obsidian!
He's using end crystal!
He's using end crystal.
Honestly, I feel like this is fine. You still can't win.
Oh yeah?
Starfish, make sure you're like not dying to this guy.
He's dying to me as we speak.
I've only used 2 health bars. What do you mean?
Starfish, keep going.
Okay, don't you dare rat. Please don't rat me out.
Go, keep that.
That's what you think. What do you think I'm getting paid for? Risking it.
Hey, Rico, I bet I could beat you in a 1v1. 1 second. I need a re-strength. Hey, Rico, let's 1v1.
I can't see anything. This is kind of bad.
Why can't you see
Hey,
him?
Rico, do you want a 1v1?
Yeah, prepare my armor. You just have to
Okay.
kill him! End him!
Hold on. Wait. Okay, I'm Stop.
Finish him! Kill recalling man!
Get him out. I'll have to do something for him.
Oh, he's pulling out the crystals.
Okay.
My time to shine!
Wait. Okay, I succeed.
His helmet's broken again!
Oh no. I have to run. Oh, we're about to go on a goose chase, buddy.
Oh, bullying
catching
Rico
him.
should be like a hobby.
No, somebody get me.
I've been waiting
Like,
for
it's
this
gonna
day
be so
for
shameful
so
to see how
long!
many health bars you did.
I've been waiting for this day for so long! I broke a totem!
Project
another
Rico,
one!
you broke a totem?
I broke
How?
another one! He placed a thing. Oh, we got. Oh, God.
I'm gonna leave Rico to this.
Second.
His elytra's gonna break.
I know how to fight in the sky! Recalling. Oh.
This again? I see his better. Really up there. What are those shots?
The world order shrinking!
The world board is shrinking.
I didn't see that.
Well, we're calling man.
I'll be honest,
sorry.
my chest plays on 3. I'll be honest, my chest plays on 3. Stop, you suck.
I'm sorry. Goodbye, your man.
Suck.
Oh no, that's just a random zombie.
Oh, broke his chest plate! He's just down to boots!
Did he die?
No, he's just down
When
to
he
boots.
lost
now.
his boots?
No, he's just down to boots.
Yeah, better pop. Okay,
Nothing! Okay, you wanna dance? You wanna dance for us? Would you like to dance?
You wanna dance? Dance for us,
Yeah,
Rico.
then start dancing! Throw it back, recall
Start
man!
dancing.
Maybe we'll let you live!
They're both here. Okay. Oh, no, wait.
Kill him!
Pain.
Ah!
Now that Recalling Man was dead, it officially meant that Starfish and I were the winners. Because soon after Recalling Man's death, Decade and Sydney ended up dying to the world border, leaving only Starfish and I left. However, there was still one final problem. Only one person could become owner, which meant if I wanted it, I would have to kill Starfish.